10 psychological reasons you're jealous of your ex's new relationship. Breaking up is never easy, and it can leave us vulnerable, raw, and with many lingering feelings. One of the most common emotions people face after a breakup is jealousy, particularly when they find out that their ex has moved on to someone new. It can feel like a dagger to the heart, and you might wonder, why am I feeling this way? The relationship is over. So why am I jealous of their new partner? If you've ever caught yourself scrolling through your ex's social media or hearing updates from mutual friends with a tinge of envy, don't worry, you're not alone. Jealousy after a breakup is a natural, albeit uncomfortable, feeling, and it can arise due to several psychological factors. In this article, we'll explore 10 reasons why you might feel jealous of your ex's new relationship and how to understand these feelings more deeply. 1. You're dealing with self-esteem issues. One of the most significant psychological factors contributing to post-breakup jealousy is self-esteem. When a breakup occurs, especially if it was initiated by your ex, it can leave you feeling inadequate or even unworthy of love. It might feel like you've been discarded or replaced, which can take a toll on your self-worth. Seeing your ex with someone new can heighten these feelings, as it might feel like confirmation that you were not enough for them. This is particularly true if you haven't taken the time to rebuild your confidence and work on your emotional well-being after the breakup. In this scenario, the jealousy isn't about your ex's new partner, but about your own need for validation. You might find yourself looking for someone more attractive or seemingly better than your ex to prove that you're still desirable. While this may temporarily soothe your bruised ego, it often leads to unhealthy relationships. To truly overcome this, you need to focus on nurturing your self-esteem and building a life that makes you feel worthy of love, independent of your ex's actions. 2. You feel competitive. Why them and not me? Another common reason for jealousy is the natural human instinct to compare ourselves to others, especially when it involves a person we once shared intimacy with. Seeing your ex with someone new can trigger a competitive mindset. Why them and not me? You might find yourself measuring their new partner against yourself, wondering what qualities they have that you don't possess. This feeling of competition is exacerbated by social media, where people often present an idealized version of their life. Filtered photos and carefully crafted posts may give you an unrealistic view of your ex's new relationship, leading you to believe that they are living a better, more fulfilling life than they ever did with you. While it's easy to fall into this trap, it's important to remember that social media is not an accurate reflection of reality. Instead of comparing yourself to their new partner, focus on your personal growth, as your journey is uniquely yours. 3. Dismay at being replaced. At its core, jealousy often stems from a deep fear of abandonment. For those with an anxious attachment style, this fear is amplified during a breakup, as it's accompanied by a sense of emotional insecurity and a constant need for reassurance. If your ex has quickly moved on to a new partner, it can feel like you've been entirely replaced and your place in their life has been usurped. If you were one of those people who kept a mental door open for a potential reunion, their new relationship may feel like the final closing of that door. The realization that your ex has found someone else to fill the role you once played can feel like a betrayal or abandonment. It can be incredibly painful, and the jealousy you feel is directly tied to this sense of being replaced. Acknowledge that this feeling is natural, but also remind yourself that their moving on is a sign of their healing, not a reflection of your value. 4. Unfinished business or lingering feelings. In some breakups, one person may still have lingering romantic feelings or unresolved emotions. If the breakup was sudden or lacking closure, you might still feel a strong emotional connection to your ex. Seeing them affectionate with someone else can be especially painful because it brings up the realization that those feelings were not reciprocated. This type of jealousy is common when the breakup leaves you feeling confused or unsure of why things ended. You might wonder if you could have done something differently, or if the relationship was truly over for both of you. The feelings of jealousy stem from a sense of longing for what could have been, and the pain of watching someone you still care about move forward without you. To process this jealousy, it's crucial to gain closure, either by having a final conversation with your ex, or by reflecting on the relationship's end and accepting that it's time to move on. 5. Loss of control. Some people are naturally more controlling in their relationships, not out of malice, but because they feel that they know what's best for their partner. If you were the decision maker in your past relationship, the realization that your ex is now with someone else who may be making decisions on their behalf can trigger feelings of jealousy. It's not necessarily about the new partner, but rather a sense of loss of control in your ex's life. You might feel protective, thinking that the new person won't treat your ex the way you did, or that they won't make the best choices for them. This is rooted in the desire to maintain a certain level of influence in your ex's life, even though the relationship has ended. To overcome this jealousy, it's essential to accept that your ex is capable of making their own decisions, and that their new partner is entitled to play a role in their life, just as you once did. 6. Possessiveness. When a breakup occurs, the line between friendship and romantic involvement can blur, especially if you're still in contact with your ex. In these situations, it's possible to feel possessive over them, even though you're no longer romantically involved. You might believe that your ex still belongs to you on some level, even if you're only friends now. The jealousy arises when you see them with someone else, and you may feel like an intruder in a space you once shared. This feeling of possessiveness can be intensified if your ex's new partner feels like a threat to the dynamic you've maintained. You might be protective of the connection you still have with your ex, and the introduction of a new person can feel like an unwanted disruption. The key to overcoming this possessiveness is to establish boundaries and recognize that your ex's relationship with someone else does not diminish your value in their life. 7. A sense of missing out. It's common to feel resentment when you realize that your ex is experiencing things with someone else that you once dreamed of sharing with them. This could be anything from taking trips together to experiencing significant life milestones. The jealousy here stems from the realization that you're no longer a part of these experiences, and that the future you envisioned is now impossible. You might find yourself bitter when you see your ex doing things they previously avoided with you, especially if they made excuses or dismissed plans you suggested. It's especially hurtful if you see your ex enjoying these activities with their new partner, knowing that those were the very things you once hoped to do together. This sense of missing out can be frustrating, but it's important to focus on creating your own new experiences, even if they don't match the exact future you had planned. 8. Unmet needs. After a breakup, especially a long-term relationship, there's a strong possibility that many of your emotional and physical needs are left unmet. You may miss the companionship, the affection, or the intimacy that your ex provided. When you see your ex happy and engaged with their new partner, it can make the absence of these needs in your own life even more pronounced. This jealousy isn't really about your ex or their new partner, but about your own feelings of loneliness and longing. You might envy the emotional support and physical affection your ex is now receiving, which could make you feel like your needs are being neglected. To deal with this jealousy, it's crucial to focus on meeting these needs independently. Spend time with friends, engage in activities that bring you joy, and practice self-care. Over time, you'll find that these feelings of jealousy dissipate as you fulfill your emotional needs in healthier ways. 9. Regret and longing for the past. If the breakup was unexpected or initiated by your ex, you may find yourself regretting the end of the relationship. Perhaps you thought things were fine, only to be blindsided by the breakup. Seeing your ex move on quickly with someone else can trigger a sense of loss, and you might long for the relationship to return to what it once was. The jealousy here stems from the desire to go back to the past, particularly if you've realized that you had a good thing and lost it. It's important to process this regret and understand that it's part of the healing process. If you truly want to move forward, let go of the past and focus on creating a future that doesn't depend on your ex. 10. lack of control over your own healing process. Finally, one of the most frustrating aspects of jealousy after a breakup is the feeling of being stuck in your healing process. Everyone heals at their own pace, but it can be difficult when you see your ex thriving and happy in a new relationship while you're still struggling. This can make you feel like you're not progressing at the same speed, and might even spark feelings of anger or resentment. The jealousy here is rooted in your lack of control over your emotional recovery. You might feel like if your ex has already moved on, you should have too. However, healing is not something that can be rushed. It's important to be patient with yourself and understand that your emotional recovery will happen at its own pace. Be kind to yourself and trust that in time, you'll find your own path to healing. Conclusion: overcoming jealousy. Jealousy after a breakup is a normal and complex emotional response. However, it's essential to recognize that these feelings don't define you. By understanding the psychological factors behind your jealousy, you can begin to address them in a healthy way. Focus on building your self-esteem, setting boundaries, and embracing your own healing process. While it may take time, the path to emotional freedom begins when you stop comparing yourself to your ex's new life and start focusing on creating your own. You deserve love, happiness, and fulfillment, just as much as anyone else. If you enjoyed watching this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell, so you don't miss any new videos. Let us know your thoughts about this video in the comment section down below, and feel free to stay and enjoy it until the end. Also make sure to check out our next highlighted video, and we will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe.